What's good, good people, and welcome to episode 13 of It's Just Not Adding Up. Correct them. I'm OBO, and over the years I've noticed gay is a scary word for a lot of people, which is wild because it's just gay. But don't worry, I've decided to be your gay coach. Everyone's talking about equality and love, but I don't know, it's just not adding up.
I got you on camera. You on candid camera now.
All right, so I always say everybody cannot be an activist. I am not saying that everybody has to be in the front lines on pushing the needle forward. I think some parts of pushing the needle is simply existing in your truth, right? People who don't have a channel, who don't, celebrate prides in a major way, but just live your life in this truth, I think is amazing. Like, don't think that you're not. That in itself is powerful, right? But there is a lot of strength in saying I'm gay. Gay is a word that has been demonized, criminalized, belittled, all the things it has, right? And so I think in that, legitimately denoting I am gay is necessary, low-key often. And I'm gonna give you some examples. So I've been in the gym, and I've been in spaces where there's been an older guy come up to me and was like, yo, like, hey, bro, respect. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's like, I'm just saying, man, a lot of young cats your age, man, they just, what the world come on, they all sissies and, I'm like, yeah, they are, man. Me and my boyfriend always talk about that.
Now that's how you clear up.
I think people have casually ran from the word so often that it makes it this very interesting, very deep, very weird, very uncomfortable thing. But simply saying like, nah, I'm gay. Even if a girl hits on me, right? There's nothing inconspicuous, nothing like, subtle, like, oh, like, nah, sweetheart, you are really attractive, but I'm gay. And I think that really does move the needle. I've been in situations with other queer men, and I say that because, bisexual gay men, and where me just being myself and me saying it out loud has given them some courage. I was at my doctor's office, and the nurse was like, oh, OBO, because, I go to the same doctor, I've been going there for years. And the nurse was like, OBO, I showed my daughter your Instagram, and she, has the biggest crush on you. And I'm like, oh, nice. And I was like, that's cute, whatever. No, you can have a crush on a guy, I think, whatever. And she was like, yeah, I was thinking you guys should go on a date.
I beg your pardon?
And she was like, I was like, oh, nah, like, I'm gay, And I told my homeboy the story, and he was like, I don't know how I would have been comfortable saying I'm gay. And I was like, why? And us kind of having a conversation about that why, I think gave him a little more courage to be a little more of himself. I contend that sometimes you have to be a little more you so others can be a little more them.
I know that's right.
We're not in a space yet where it's like water yet. I don't know that my generation will even see that, to be honest. I think it will come, don't get me wrong, right? Like on some Martin Luther King vibes, like I may not get there with you, but you gonna get there. I think likewise to us, like, I don't know if we're gonna say see where it's simply just not a big deal, but there are channels like mine and other avenues that are really creating some really, really good space. Keep creating space. That needle moves, the more people are able to really, really understand but B, well, understand one, but two, see us in our fullness, right? There could have been somebody who was gay when I was young and in a relationship, but I just didn't know. Because they were simply being themselves, and no offense to them, no bad vibes to them, they were being who they were. But imagine if I would have known they were gay, what that would have done and inspired in me, and likewise would have inspired some other people. One of my good friends always says that mentorship doesn't always have to be like up and down or vertical. It can be linear. Sometimes like you can bless the person beside you with just being yourself and being yourself in its fullness. Not tripping over words and not being coy about this and being weird when it comes to that, but it's simply being in your truth. I was asked recently, like, do you have to talk about gay stuff? Oh. I thought about the question, right? And I was like, do you know how often we talk about straight stuff? And how normal it is to do so? How often we talk about the girls you smash, how often for the girls you want to smash, how a lot of podcasts are centered around the women you want to get, why the women are the women you like, why the men are the men you like, all these topics, right? But the second you talk about some gay stuff, it's now, There's been some great work. I'm not negating that ever, right? There's been some movements, there's been some work, there's been some riots, there's been some things that have definitely played an instrumental part in gay people having the rights that they have today. But there's still more work that needs to be done. And parts of that work is just being ourselves. Parts of that work is not pausing who you are for the sake of comfort, pausing who you are for the sake of anything, you know, kind of being fearless about your truth. It's funny because I was having a conversation with a friend not long ago, and we were talking about when someone assumes you're something that you are not, you correct them. But there's a lot of people within the gay community that don't feel as comfortable correcting them if they're perceived as straight, right? If someone was to perceive you as an ethnicity that you are not, you would say, no, I'm black, or no, I'm Caribbean, or no, I'm whatever, right? Like, or assume you work, oh, do you work here? No, I don't work here, I work for so-and-so. Or do you do this? I don't do this. But if someone's like, man, your girlfriend gonna like that shirt, you at the mall shop, your girl like that shirt. Oh yeah, she might. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying we pick and choose the times in which we want to correct somebody on what. I'm not saying they go through everything and wear a shirt. I'm not saying you have to, like, you know, if it's not that, you recognize the moment. You know what I'm talking about. You know those moments. There's moments, of course, where people are going to say they want to say in passing. I'm not saying you have to chase them down and say, hey, listen, no, I like guys. But at the same time, like, you know, there's also moments in which that you come on now.
I know what you were saying. You don't have to keep asking.
Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Keep creating space. Peace.